I was saying, when we only see when the church only sees Jesus as the man,
Right.
they don't see the wisdom that was revealed in him.
Right.
If they don't see the wisdom that was revealed in him, then they don't find themselves being unctioned or led up by the same spirit that Jesus was led up by. So what's critical for the church to find the same life born in them that was born in Jesus is not for them to see Jesus as a man, but for them to see that there is a wisdom being revealed in Jesus the man,
yes,
about them and about God.
Right.
And as they begin beholding that, that wisdom becomes born in them, and they start being led up by that same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? When Jesus says, only do what I see the Father doing, he wasn't trying to talk about how, well, the Father told me to do this, so I'm doing it. Or I saw the Father do it, so I'm doing it. He was trying to draw a connection to the good he was doing to the heart of the Father. He didn't want there to seem to be any difference, because people had a view of God as if God was the punisher for sin. If God as the judge against people. And so he wanted people to see, do you see how I forgave this guy's sin? And do you see how that guy's healed now? I only did that because it was the Father's heart to do that. Right? Yeah. He wanted them to see that this was God, that God's desire was for people's sin to be sent away from them. That God's desire was not to condemn people for sin. God's desire was to heal people from sin. Amen. God's desire was not to judge against people for their sin. God's desire was to come and send people's sin away from them. His desire wasn't to impute sin to people. His desire was to declare people innocent from sin. And so he wanted people not to see, I'm doing this. He wanted people to see it as this is what God desired to do, so that they could begin seeing God's heart towards them as being full of compassion and mercy instead of being full of retributive justice or retributive judgment. That his judgment is unto the forgiveness of sin. His judgment is not retributive unto the condemning of people for sin. That's one of the main reasons why he was doing that. He wasn't trying to say, well, I saw God doing this and now I'm mimicking him. Yeah. That's not what he was trying to say. Yeah. He's trying to say, don't think that I'm, in my goodness, that I'm doing this. Right. I'm only doing this because the heart of God for you is only kindness and goodness. Behold the heart of God for you. Don't behold the heart of Jesus for you. Behold the heart of God for you in me. Yeah. That's the point he's trying to make there. Right? Because everybody's view of God is completely jacked up at that time. Right? I mean, the people's view of God was throw the woman caught in adultery and let's get our stones and let's kill that woman. They thought that was the heart of God. Right. And so Jesus comes, and when he says, when he forgave the woman caught in adultery, and he says, neither do I condemn you, he wasn't trying to say, well, this is what I saw God doing, and so now I'm mimicking him. He's trying to say, let me reveal the heart of God in this situation, so you guys can begin to know God for who and what he actually is. Right? He doesn't come to condemn for sin. He comes to declare people innocent from sin. Right? He comes to set free from death. He doesn't come to condemn people to death. He comes to save people from death, not to impute death to people. Right?
Well, and that horrible